Hey guys, I just wanted to do a video about breastfeeding, about the things that helped me when I was breastfeeding to be able to breastfeed, the things that didn't help me, things that I wasted money on, and just some advice. I have 3 babies. I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 9-month-old. And my first was breastfed for 6 months, and my second one's breastfed for 4 months, and my youngest one is still currently breastfeeding. Well, at night he breastfeeds. With my first one, I did not have any help. Nobody gave me advice. There wasn't anybody in the hospital that was, helping me have him latch on. It was just like, you had your baby, now feed him. And I really didn't know what to do. I mean, I've watched videos and I kind of obviously knew what to do just from like Baby Story. Shows like that. But he would not latch on. No matter how hard I tried, he would not latch on. And I was so sad because he would cry and cry and cry because he was hungry. And then somebody finally came in and asked me if I was having issues. I was like, yes. She brought me a nipple shield, and I put that on. It's just like a little plastic thing that goes over your nipple. It's kind of like a bottle nipple that goes over your own nipple. And he sucked on that, and he did fine. But he did get gas a lot because I guess he had to drink it faster. I don't know. I don't know what the issue was. It might not have been me or breastfeeding or anything to do with that. It just might have been he was a gassy baby. I didn't have a pump. So I just had to do that. But my kids are fatties. He was hungry all the time. I was feeding him. I never slept. I swear every hour I would be feeding that child. And he was always hungry. Never stopped breastfeeding. I couldn't go anywhere because I couldn't stop feeding him because he was never satisfied. And I don't know if I wasn't producing enough milk. Maybe I wasn't doing it right. I don't know. It was my first baby. I did stop because I didn't have a pump and I got mastitis, and it hurt so bad. I had it in both my boobs and it hurt so bad I couldn't even breastfeed, like to release the pressure, because it hurt that bad. I put hot packs on it, ice packs on it, took Tylenol, ibuprofen, and it took about 2 weeks to go away. And by then he was already on a bottle and my milk had almost dried up. And now, to me, right now, it would seem worth it, but back then I was like, yes, I'm not gonna even try that again. So I stopped breastfeeding. And he took the bottle and he was fine. I do think breast is best, obviously. But there are sometimes some issues that people do have to use bottles, and I would never say anything harsh or bad about somebody that used formula or bottles, because all 3 of my kids have had formula at some point in time. With my second baby, she was born at 31 weeks and a couple of days, and so I didn't get the initial, like, her latching on, the letdown, so on and so forth, but I did have a pump at the NICU. So I would pump every day and I would get them the milk for her. It took about 3 days for my milk to come in, and then it was like crazy abundance of milk because I was just pumping all the time because I didn't have anything else to do. She had so much milk in the freezer when she came home. It was crazy. She was in the NICU for almost 2 weeks, and I never tried. I take that back. I did try one time to actually breastfeed her, and she did not like it. She wanted the bottle. She's my stubborn kid, I guess. She didn't like to be all cuddled against you. She wanted to be, you know, like fed like this, like a NICU baby, like, you know, hold her head up, make sure she drinks. She doesn't. So I was like, and I did not want to not. I wanted to make sure that I knew how much food she was getting, because she had to have so much, because she was so tiny. When we came home, she was a little under 4 pounds. So that was the reason why I just pumped, and I pumped for 4 months, and then me and my ex-husband got a divorce at that time, or a little before then, and I went back to work. So it would have been way too difficult, especially where I was working. They were not pro breastfeeding. They would have made a really big fuss about me having to go somewhere and pump, or even if I went to my car, you know, they were not for it. So if I wanted the job, I had to stop breastfeeding, which sucked, but I had to make money. So I stopped breastfeeding. She still had enough milk where she was breastfed till she was about 5 months old. So that was good, but she didn't have a problem or any issues with formula. And my third baby, he was also born early. He was born at 34 weeks, so I didn't get the chance to breastfeed him either, like at first. I really look forward to maybe with our next kid, if he's not born, he is not born too early, that I can breastfeed as soon as they're born. And I think that would be a great experience. So I pumped with him as well. And I pumped and pumped and pumped and pumped. But he came home about 3 weeks old, when he was 3 weeks old. And with him, it was just like with my daughter. I did not want to take a chance of him not eating as much as he was supposed to. My boobs were huge and he was so tiny. It was ridiculous. I tried to breastfeed a couple of times, like, you know, and my husband was like, "You're gonna suffocate him." He was obviously kidding, but it was really hard. So when he was about 3 months old, when I felt comfortable, like he was big enough that I felt comfortable that he was okay to breastfeed, he did, and he did great, and he loved the boob. He still loves the boob. I think the hardest time to breastfeed is obviously the first month, because you're just getting used to it. I never had any support, anybody that really knew what they were doing or encouraging me to breastfeed, and that's why I loved YouTube, because I would watch everybody's videos and I would be like, I want to do it, like I'm gonna do it for as long as I can, you know, it's so important, and it is important, and it's so much easier, like, you know, you don't have to carry bottles and formula and water and everything with you. You can just take diapers. So yes, but just a couple weeks ago, he was almost 9 months old, and I got really sick. I got strep, and I couldn't talk because my throat hurt so bad. I was running a fever, and I got mastitis again. And I had loaned my pump to my sister-in-law, so I didn't have my pump either. So I couldn't just pump. And I couldn't feed him because I had to take antibiotics and some other medication that I could not feed him with. And I couldn't breastfeed, obviously, or pump, because I didn't have my pump. And my milk kind of went away. So it's been a couple of weeks, and I can still nurse him every once in a while, like once a day. And it's usually at night, because that's when he wants to breastfeed. He's, you know, really tired and just wants to nurse to go to sleep. So I get to nurse during that time, and that's great. But I am excited. I'm excited that he got to breastfeed for 9 months. I was very proud of that. I mean, I know some people are like, you know, breastfeeding until their kids, whenever they want to wean themselves, and I wish it was that easy for me, and I wish I didn't get mastitis, but I did, and I'm okay with that. I'm not, you know, like, I'm a bad mom. I feel like I'm a great mom, and I did what I could, and I'm still going to try to get my breast milk, milk supply back up, but if I don't, then that's fine. he had issues with the formula, not the formula, but the bottle. Like, he did not want to take a bottle. It took me forever, and finally he did. And now I just fear if I take it away and just give him boob again, like if my milk supply does come up, I'm afraid that he's not going to ever take the bottle again. So if something else happened, I couldn't get him to take it. But he's happy now. He's great, and I love that I got to breastfeed for 9 months, as I said before. And I'll do another video of some of my tricks to get them to latch on, and I learned a lot by myself and watching videos to keep breastfeeding and telling myself to keep breastfeeding, and I will upload that as soon as I get it done. Thanks for watching.